You may have heard that mediators just split everything 50-50. That's a myth. It's not true. We, as mediators, don't have the ability to do anything really for you. It's up to the clients and the parties to make the decisions. It may be a 50-50 split, or it might not be. Parties are welcome to decide for themselves. The mediator's role is to help the parties be informed to make important decisions. That means understanding their options, the law, and understand some strategies that are available to them in the mediation so that they reach those right decisions. It could be a 50-50 split, but it doesn't always have to be. It's what's right for the couple. You probably heard that you can't use divorce mediation if you are angry or your spouse is. That's not true. Mediation is definitely a platform even for parties who are angry with one another. Of course, divorce is difficult and we don't expect people to be on their best behavior or to be happy being there. It's a really difficult time for some people. But the important thing is that if you are angry, you're not taking that anger and fueling it for an expensive court battle. Often you'll hear parties threaten one another, say, if you don't do it my way, or I'd rather give it to the lawyers. Really, that's not helpful. It's not helpful to you, especially. You're the one who'll get hurt if you're making such threats, because court can be a very expensive process, and it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win. A judge can, in fact, pick something that doesn't help either one of the parties. So even if you're angry or your spouse is, try to take a beat and say to yourself that mediation is worth it. You can be successful in mediation with the right divorce mediator. I'm sure you've heard that mediation is just for amicable divorces. If you have conflict or some complex case, it's better for the lawyers to be involved. I believe that can be furthest from the truth. Most of my clients have something going on where they don't agree and they're not as cooperative as you think. But the mediation gives them the platform that they needed in order to reach those agreements, a space that they can say to themselves, this is the place where I'm going to show up, I'm going to be committed, and I'm going to cooperate. This applies to people who have some anger and may not completely see everything eye to eye. They're giving the mediation a chance because that's the platform, that's the place that they're going to be able to have that high quality agreement that's enforceable and that's going to stand the test of time. It's a hard decision, especially when you have conflict, but you know what? You just take your time, think it through, and do your best. And I'm sure that mediation can work for you. Does the mediator decide who's right? A lot of people think that, and it's not true. I will be put in the position sometimes to make a decision to decide which of the spouses are right by one of the spouses, but it's not our job. Our job is not to decide how a case should settle. What's important is that we're providing options and strategies to help the parties make that decision for themselves. It's a very important line that we can't cross. It is important for the parties to take ownership of the decisions that they're making. Sometimes that might mean that a client or a party has to seek out professional help, like a consulting attorney, to assist them in making the decisions. But also, the mediator can help in defining the pros and cons of various decisions and options that are available to them. But again, as a mediator, as a neutral, the mediator cannot make the decisions for the parties. Not really true, but you probably heard this myth. You know, you're just going to be bouncing around in the mediation with no direction. You need, attorneys to push this through the court system. Really, mediation is one of the fastest ways to go through your divorce, having a professional involved. The mediator is going to be establishing the cadence, the scheduling, making sure that you're showing up and being present in the mediation to be able to assist you in getting through it quickly. On average, mediations take about 4 to 6 months in California, and that can be from start to finish. That's much faster than a typical divorce, which takes 1 to 2 years in California. So mediation is actually quite fast, and it relies on the parties and the mediator to set the tone so that they can be in and out as soon as they like.